What's up, everybody? Blazing Ace Nelson back again, back after quite a while, with another Dynasty Warriors 8 character analysis and walkthrough. This time's going to be special, because it's going to be a bit of a 2-for-1 deal, because not only do I intend to do a character walkthrough, but I also want to show off one of the DLC weapons that's currently available, at least for the Japanese version of Dynasty Warriors 8. Whoop, I almost dropped the controller there. Anyway, I'll just go ahead and, what the heck. I'll go ahead and pick the normal stage that I usually run through for these. Set it on Chaos, of course. But the character that I want to actually, showcase for you guys today is going to be the head of the Sun family himself, Sun Jian. Now, back in the early Dynasty Warriors games, I'll admit, he seemed very generic to me. In fact, back then, all the rulers did. I mean, sure, they had their differences in their movesets, but on first glance, just seeing Sun Jian, Liu Bei, Cao Cao, Yuan Shao, all that really struck me was just, them basically being like, not even mascots so much as just again, they just seemed really generic. It was around Dynasty Warriors 5 where I feel like more of the personality of the characters really started coming through, and then came Dynasty Warriors 6 where damn near everything about it was changed up. Excuse me, not just the gameplay, but also the design for a lot of the characters. And they actually really started differentiating between the rulers. And that, I thought that was something truly unique. And in the case of what they did with Sun Jian, it was like he just took off from there. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into his equipment real quick. Now, like I said, aside from showing him off, I also want to equip him with one of the DLC weapons, so that way I can give you an idea of what that's going to look like. And that is going to be, it's listed as the Blaze Blade or Blaze Sword in Japanese. But I prefer to call it the Flint Sword, and you'll understand why once I actually go into the gameplay itself. But Sun Jian's main weapon, his EX weapon, is a 9-ring broadsword. Now, you've probably seen a weapon like this in movies like Jet Li's Fearless. A wide blade, and along the back edge of it are, iron rings. Now, the rings have been shown to be used for various purposes, as far as, weapon catching or weapon locking in combat, but the way it's implemented here in Dynasty Warriors 8 is, I think, pretty interesting and pretty original. Let's go ahead and pick some decent music for this. No. Yeah. Now once I get this cutscene skipped, we'll just go ahead and get right into the meat and bones of it. Come on, finish loading, please. Thank you. Now, notice the little energy waves that are coming off of his sword with each of his attacks. Those are basically set up as sound waves being generated by the contact that the rings are making between each other. That set off those little waves of energy. Okay. Now, we'll go ahead and get into some of his charge attacks. Now, the charge 1 is pretty standard, but when he stabs the sword into the ground and sets off that sound wave, it stuns your enemies for a good while, long enough for you to actually launch into your next set of attacks. Charge 2, basic short launcher. And if you keep hitting triangle when you do his charge 2, then he'll follow up with that second uppercut, which sets off the energy wave. Charge 3, you know, nice and quick succession of hits, and of course, his EX attack is an extension falling off of the charge 3. As you saw right there. Good advancing distance. The fire element helps, and oh god, it's Lu Bu! I'm taking way too much time with this. You know what, I'll just go ahead and go straight into his awakening attack real quick because I'm going to need to use that if I want to survive here. Crap! Is he still coming? He's still coming. Now right there what you just saw is this charge 5 attack. Good coverage as far as crowd control. 2, 3, 4. It's also a multi-hitting attack, which really helps as far as like draining the Valor Gauge, draining your opponent's Valor Gauge so that you can trigger a Storm Rush. Okay, don't want to use the Flint sword just yet. Yeah. Woo! Now his charge 4, the basic powerful stab, you know, good knockback, not so great on the crowd control unfortunately. Oh Jesus, why is Lu Bu still following me? What you just saw right there was his Musou 1, brought back from Dynasty Warriors 7. Shit. Is there health over here? Just so long as I don't get hit, I'll be fine. Thank you. Whew. What? Yeah, shit. Out! More to it. Whew. Okay. Now that that's done, I can finally get back to showing off the rest of this guy's attacks. Now what you just saw right there was his charge 6. Sort of a mid-range projectile, and the wall of sound waves that it produces actually works really well as far as actually crowd control. 3, 4, 5, 6. Why do I always seem to have so many problems with trying to do a decent walkthrough video for this guy? Oh well. Awakening time once again because we need to clear this place out, and quickly. Ow. 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 Woo! Man. That was almost more trouble than it was worth. And it cost me Xiahou Dun. That sucks. 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, if you press the normal attack button, if you press square in the middle of any of Sun Jian's charge attacks, then you can actually use a normal attack to cancel it. Good for... It's pretty good for continuing combos and continuing damage. And especially in tight spots like I was in just now, continuing damage and continuing travel is always important. Now, you know what? Let's go ahead and go into the Musou attacks. Why not? You've already seen his Musou 1. Simple, but brutal. 3 slashes, wide range, fire element for continuous damage. Nice stuff. His R1 and Circle Musou, which you unlock for him at level 25. A powerful thrusting attack, again with the fire element, so that's always good for continual damage. But that one is for more of a single target. His mid-air Musou, which is new for Dynasty Warriors 8, is one that I think is the most fun. Extensive range. Now let's go on to... Oh, wait a minute. No. There we go. Want to get that Storm Rush and that Awakening Musou in first. Eventually it will be safe for me to switch weapons, and when I do, then we'll start going into analysis on the DLC weapon, the Flint sword. No. You don't get to deadlock with me, especially if you think you're gonna win. Whew! Okay. Now let's go ahead and switch weapons. By the way, the weapon switch attack for the 9-ring broadsword is probably one of my favorites because of the not only because of the damage, but also because of the mobility. Now, the weapon that I have currently equipped is the Flint sword. Now, the gameplay mechanics behind this are interesting, in that as you do certain moves and as you run, you drag the sword along the ground, and it generates more flames. Now, the standard S string for the Flint sword is pretty fast. And I think that's even before actually equipping any of the attack speed increase skills onto it. The charge 1, area attack, does decent stun, but again, also triggers a fire element. Charge 2, yeah, uppercut. It's basically Zero's Ryu engine from Mega Man X or from Marvel vs. Capcom 3. And also, if you hit charge while you're in mid-air, it'll drop you back to the ground, and it'll drag the sword along the ground, thus generating flames for you to extend your charge attacks. Now your charge 3, rapid series of slashes followed by a dash. Now if you've got the flames geared up on it, then you do more slashes, and the final dashing slash actually causes a detonation. Charge 4 is a basic, well, not basic, but the Charge 4 is, you know, another advancing slash that uses a lot of acrobatics to get you from point A to point B. It's also good for triggering whatever elements might be equipped on the weapon. Now, if you build up the flames on that, 1, 2, 3. Hold on, let's get this built up a little bit more. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. And 1, 2, 3. Use this. Okay. Let's try this again. There we go. You get extended movement and an extended flip on the charge 4. Now let's set this back to normal. Now when you do the charge 5 for Charge 5 with the ignition sword is, you know, a flip followed by slamming the sword on the ground and launching the enemies into the air with a small shockwave. When the flint's been struck and the sword is ignited, you get additional slashes followed by a stab into the ground. 2, 3, 4, 5. And take note, the blade's good by itself, but once you've got the flames going, you will always wind up doing more damage. 2, 3, 4, 5. Now for his charge 6. 3, 4, 5, 6. You know, sort of a standard slash. 3, 4, 5. However, when you get the flames charged up on it, that is the optimal time to use this charge 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because you get that advancing spin, and then you get the extra detonation off of that last portion of the attack. Whew! Man, it should not have taken me all that just to be able to hurry up and get these blasted charge attacks done. But that just shows you guys that I, you know, being the hack and slash gamer that I'd like to think I am, need to play more Dynasty Warriors 8. Now, the jumping charge attack for the Flint sword is another one of those that actually, drags the sword along the ground, thus striking the flint and igniting the blade even further. From what I can tell, though, there are only 2 levels of charge on the flame, so you don't have to worry about charging it up for too long before you can unleash the blade's true potential. And as you can see from that right there, the extended charge 6 for this is really good for setting up storm rushes. I mean, you can practically follow one storm rush with another off of this thing. And I think even the switch attack for this is enhanced by how much flame you have on it. Let's see, that was at level 2, level 1 charge. No, it's pretty much the same. Whew. But, yeah, that should take care of it for this time through. That, in a nutshell, is Sun Jian, a great character with a great new moveset. And, of course, any character that has enough proficiency to use the ignition sword, to use the Flint sword, do it. So until next time, this is Blazing Ace Nelson. Thanks a lot for sticking around. Thanks for watching. Leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe, and I'll have more for you coming soon. So until then, stay gaming, y'all. Peace.